This is Lauren.
This is Trey.
And this
is the Partnership Podcast. It's January 2025, and Lauren shared something very vulnerable recently. As her business grows, she gets deeper and deeper into her work, and she's afraid of failing her family. And she shared that there's something in her mind that says she has to choose one or the other. That's what we talk about today. And then it was just verbally check-ins. Edit all of that out. Welcome to this week's episode of the Partnership Podcast.
Hi, y'all. We're back from the land of the holiday season. Thanks for your patience. You might notice if you're viewing this podcast that we have a slightly different setup. And I'm going to turn my phone off.
Yeah, Lauren didn't turn her phone off. I better do mine too. So
yeah, yours is going to start vibrating as well.
It's never.
Did you set a timer?
Do not disturb. It's on Do Not Disturb. No, I didn't set a timer. Fuck.
You want to set a timer? We can start again.
It's the one thing we haven't figured out about this. Anywho.
I think I might have figured it out when I do the Zoom thing, but that's okay. I don't want to record the Zoom. We're back. Do you want to set a timer or just watch it?
No, it's kind of fun.
I know, you can see it. Mm-hmm. We're back. We're trying new things. It's 2025.
Anal.
No, not on camera.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, your video might change over the next few weeks. Your conversation will be the same incredible quality you have come to expect from Trey and Lauren, but your video background might be changing as we play with it and play with some things. What you can't see right now is that there's a new rug in the room, there's new lighting, there's new stuff. Why are you smiling?
Nothing.
We have had this dingy ass rug that has traveled with me. I don't know if that's a rug I used to have at my first house or if it's a rug I got when I moved into my apartment and had zero funds. Anyway, it collected dust. It left jute or sizzle or sizzle all over your body. The last rug. Mm-hmm. Are you like wanting me to talk about something different?
Yeah, like my mind goes to like, nobody gives a shit about this. But it's not nice. It's not nice to actually say it out loud.
Do you want to talk about what we were going to talk about?
No, we're not talking about that. Edit.
Anyway, the room's changing. Have fun watching it change. We're almost to 100 episodes. The audience asked at 100 episodes if we could do like common questions. So I'll feed them a question box on...
Love it. I would love to do common questions every week too.
Yeah, well, we could do that. But I'm going to answer questions. So I'll put them on Instagram and we can answer questions about our partnership, about our lives, about blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I'll put questions that everybody asked for a Q&A for episode 100, which is 2 away. I think this is 98 and then we'll have 99. Then we'll have 100 and we'll wrap up season 1.
Great.
And we'll go into season 2. Nothing will change.
What do you want to chop up today? Huh?
You wanted to talk about last week when we didn't have capacity because I was going back into my first work week of the year. You wanted to talk about the fact that when I go into my work week, dive under the water, and that we wanted to talk about that dynamic of when one partner's attention is occupied with their work, maybe with their children, that whole concept. And what does it look like to practice patience for coming intimacy? What does it look like to not be, you've used this word before, so I'm using it, a pussy brat? Mm-hmm. What does it look like to not pressure the other? What does it look like to not feel abandoned and rejected when that is not the intent of the other partner? And I think this is a beautiful conversation to have because I see this dynamic at play all of the time when in the reversed genders and heteronormative relationships, when one person is the child care provider and the other one goes out to work.
Yeah.
And not that going to work isn't a hard job, but is less demanding than full round the clock child care that doesn't end ever. Mm. Yeah, but do you want to just remind me of what was going on in your body? Because you kind of brought it up of, can we touch each other soon?
Yeah, can we have sex soon?
Yeah. Can
we be intimate together?
Can you take me through some of the emotions you started to feel and experience? And please hear me, I don't view this as a criticism of me, but what started to go through your body?
I would love to actually talk about this in this space because when we were having these conversations, we had to put up guardrails or do check-ins where I would say, please, baby, hear me. I want to look at this without the emotion of like, I'm missing something or you're failing me.
Yes.
or you're not meeting my expectations.
Right.
Fuck that. So when we were, it was, okay, we'll just start at the beginning because I get spazzy in my mind. Can we define pussy brat?
Sure.
It's the expectation of sex, and I'm only talking about men. I'm talking about men right now because I'm a man, and where if you're going to be a whiny little fucking bitch to your partner, that's pussy bratting.
Like, I did all of these things for you, and you should be giving me sex.
Yeah, shit like that. Yeah. Where it's the dries up the pussy. I guess for my gay brothers out there, it dries up the dick too.
Yeah, and I'd argue in a queer relationship of any kind of like orientation, like if one partner is doing acts of service to get another partner into bed, I'd argue that it's a form of manipulation and it is non-consensual.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. The obligation of like, you owe me sex now.
Yeah.
Cool, so that's pussy bratting.
Yeah, it's pussy bratting.
Yeah.
So
you owe me sex now.
Yeah. Penis bratting, pussy bratting, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Okay, so it was after we came home from New York, and Mama, my sweet wife Lauren, she ended up getting like a 48-hour stomach bug where she was in bed, either shitting or vomiting. The first night it was roostering, where it's like, I need to shit and vomit. It's like, babe, you need to do both. We get you on the toilet and then we get you a bowl. Like, just do both. So it was 2 days of that.
Like zero energy.
Yeah.
Like sleeping, that horrible type of depletion.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, sleep. I couldn't even watch like a show.
Sure. Yeah.
Because my brain couldn't even.
Yeah. So your job was to literally stay in bed and like get fluids and try to get crackers in you and whatever like small amounts of easy calories that you could actually keep down. Then it was a day after that of recovery, and then she went actually right into a very heavy client work week. And we're starting to call it like when Lauren goes underwater, which is a good thing because she gets so dialed in to her work, which I love and support. And then my job becomes supporting all of the other aspects of the house and the family and kind of the management of the house, which I do openly and I do enthusiastically and I do willingly. What I noticed in my body was Lauren will go more into her masculine, which is great. Mm-hmm. So there's two masculine presence in the house, and I start to miss the feminine. And what was really interesting this time was instead of wanting like intimacy and sex with the other masculine energy in the house, it was actually because that was available when it was available, because I don't want a pussy brat. Okay. And I have a very healthy masturbatory practice, and because I like to come.
The audience knows. The faithful listeners.
I like fantasy football. I like golf, and I like coming. What I noticed within myself is, okay, when the feminine comes back, great. I actually would like some help with the tasks, so I wanted masculine help. Which was like, okay, I need a break from all of the tasks. Oh, it snowed. So there was a lot of like, there was a lot of snow. There was a lot of outdoor tasks. So that was very interesting in my body. I was like, oh, two masculine essences in the house. I want some help with the tasks.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I even remember Tuesday, my first admin day back from the tummy bug. I asked for the "you got this, bro" energy.
Yeah. What she did is ask for affirmation of like, Trey, I want you to talk to me like you would a teammate.
Yeah.
Like another male teammate.
And I will do this sometimes when I have some when I need to push, I need to do. I need to accomplish. I need to drive. I need to move forward.
Almost like a coach would talk to a player
Yeah.
if they both were on the same level of trust.
Yeah.
Yep.
You even, I don't even know if you did this consciously. You grabbed my shoulders at the end, like, and did one of those squeeze, like a coach would come up on the sidelines and do to a player, and then slap him on the ass and just, throw him in the game.
I don't want husband-wife energy. I don't want lover energy. I want
Teammate, coach type of go get him.
Teammate, or coach, or
Because I don't doubt my ability. It's just I need that type of energy to focus in, and so we'll play with that sometimes. But that is how we started the week. I wonder if sometimes, no, it is. It's kind of.
It's 100% an endowment.
It is 100%.
It's an energy endowment, 100%.
We never closed that container, so I wonder if that's a thing we could do differently.
Well, I think we closed that container when we finally came back together, intimately.
Yeah. That is fascinating. You hadn't expounded on that. You had told me you were missing the feminine, which I thought was really cool. I recently read a Robert Johnson book where he said that regardless of gender, please hear me, y'all, we're not talking gender. I know it sounds gendered, but that the feminine is like holds a light up to the masculine for them to see different things that had not been exposed. And I think it is this beautiful balance. I know that's what happens, the feminine and masculine inside of me as well, the yin yang, go flow, whatever you want to call it, right? I loved it when you said that because I was able to empathize with that. Like, oh, he's not saying you are failing me, oh feminine creature. He was just making a statement. I miss this. But I hadn't known. That's really interesting about, if there's another dude in the house, where's my help? Yeah. That's interesting. Is there a fix, or is it just kind of this was an observation?
This was an observation. It wasn't really a fix.
Yeah.
And also, I'm so much better now than I ever have been in my life at doing things within my capacity.
Yeah.
Where I'm not going to push past. Yeah. And like, if I don't have any more room to do any more bullshit around the house, guess what?
Yep.
It ain't going anywhere. And then there's another day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Two things. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You go first.
Okay. It was so beautiful how you brought it up because the audience is aware and you're aware that one of my greatest fears from conditioning long ago is that women shouldn't be in the workplace because they neglect their families. Right? So the thing that was told to me is, oh, you can have a career as long as your family is taken care of. And so I have a constant body-based belief that I am healing in my body at all times, that my work is going to force me to neglect you and the baby.
Can I define neglect for me? If you were to martyr, if you were to go to victimhood, if you were to go to those two things, if and when you drop balls, if you were to justify your working, if you were to deflect, if you were to say like, hey, we need you for this, or hey, you missed this, and if you were to not take ownership, those things would be neglect for me.
I love that you said that, because something I talk about with clients often is that unfortunately so much of the Christian narrative that I grew up with was I am a sinner in the sight of God. And so if I did something wrong,
you're going to hell.
If I made a mistake.
Great job, Christians.
If I forgot something.
You fucking assholes, man. Telling kids that shit. You fucking assholes. Pardon.
It was so
Welcome
detrimental.
Back. Welcome back. It's you.
It was so detrimental to my self-worth and my ability to take accountability. So this is where the rubber meets the road.
Isn't that wild when you get attacked at your core?
Because when you are told as a little person, this wrongful behavior is evidence of your sin nature, not, Lauren, you are a good person. You made a mistake. Let's figure out the steps that one needs to take accountability for this and tool up. What didn't you have? What do you need to have going forward? How can you do better next time? That was not told to me. Instead, it was, see, you're a sinner. What that led to was, yes, this whole like, oh, I'll never be good, right? I am so depraved. Which led to a lack of accountability, which is exactly what you're saying. That's yucky. I'll never be good enough. It's like, what that does too is take the onus off of the person who should take accountability for their actions.
I don't talk to you like that either. We don't talk to each other like that.
You've never spoken to me like that. That is old. That is old things in my head.
Yeah, like you let the whole family down, or like you're neglecting us and shit like that. We don't talk to each other that way.
No.
Or if we do, I think it needs to be deserved.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be.
Yes, right? A compulsive alcohol habit.
We don't call the fire department when the stove's on.
No, we do not.
That's a flame. It's a flame in your house. We don't call the fucking fire department for that.
No. Yeah, I loved what you just said, honey. Okay, so like the thing that would be neglectful is if I spent all of my time outside of working hours. Woe is me. I'll never be good enough for you too. And then like went to a depressive state and did something like that.
Yeah, if your attitude was shit. Or if you didn't own, great example. The baby asked for you to put a
bagel,
English muffin or a bagel on the counter from the freezer so it would defrost so she would have it in the morning.
Yeah, I did it.
You didn't do it. You forgot, right?
Yep.
You dropped the ball, right?
Yep.
What did you do?
I said, that is my bad. You asked so kindly when I asked if there was anything I could do to support you in the morning. You knew that I was going to get up slightly before, she knew, the baby, that I was going to get up slightly before her. And so she asked if I could take the bagel out to defrost. And I did not. I feel badly, but it does not mean I'm a bad person.
No.
And it's my bad.
What else do we want to say about you being a business-oriented woman who focuses on her career?
I'd love to talk about the thing that came up in my massage and how helpful that has been, because I think that sometimes it is so helpful for partners to have a visual picture to both align themselves with a new thing that gets them on the same team. Because what happens in partnership is we come with our own stories that we have made up in our heads. We also project onto the other a whole lot subconsciously. We're not intending to do it. We just do it, right? And everyone has watched us do that and undo that time and time again. And a new image is sometimes really fun to grab onto. So I was getting a massage on Monday, as I do. That was the other thing, is that since I had had the tummy bug and since it had been vacation, I hadn't had any of my normal self-care practices.
We got
either.
snowed in too.
We were snowed. We had family in town. We had gone up to New York City. I mean, it was a week. It was a recalibrating week, and we felt it. Anyway, had a massage, and during the massage, my massage therapist and I, shout out, often share kind of active imagination things that are coming forward. And so she had a experience that she shared with me that went like this. I was on a deep sea diving boat, one of those like really big ones, crew. Like there was a mission that I was the diver and that I was about to do the deep dive on, right? Scuba gear, the whole deal. I was alone in my cabin and I was doing deep breathing exercises. I was getting in the zone. I was happy. I was engaged. I was serious, but content and doing what I love to do. Then I come out of my cabin and there's all the crew, like everyone who works on the boat, everyone who supports the dive, all that kind of stuff. And they all had chatter. Like they all had questions for me. They all had things that they wanted to ask me. And in what she's viewing, my massage therapist could tell I was visibly like frustrated, agitated. It felt loud in my ears, she could tell. And so I walk to the edge of the boat, like the diving platform or whatever, and I have my stuff. And she said, the only thought that was going through my head is, you guys just let me be. Like, I've got this. I will get to all of your questions. But right now, the most important thing is that I do this dive and I do this dive safely and I do this dive well and I am prepared and I am ready. These were not like questions about the safety. It was just like all things that could be handled later. And yeah, she said she could also feel the feelings in my body that felt bad, that I didn't have capacity to deal with all of this stuff right then. And then I jumped off onto my dive and then everything was quiet. And I was doing the thing that I was skilled to do, trained to do, loved to do. And I was diving deep, deep, deep. Later on in the massage, she said, you know what? I left one thing out, but I had shared something else about afraid of, neglecting you and the baby. And she said, oh my goodness, that's so funny. She said, I didn't tell you this one part of the active imagination thing because it felt so weird, but now I'll tell you. And I was like, what? And she said, Trey and the baby weren't a part of the chatter, but they were there. I was like, on the boat? And she said, yeah, Trey was sitting at the front of the boat in a lounge chair with a pina colada in his hand, just smiling. And she said, you know the smile he does? And I was like, yes, I know the smile he does. Like, he like shakes his head and does it. The baby and I tease all the time. We love it. It's like our favorite smile that he does. And she said he was like full of pride and beaming. Like, yeah, this is when my girl goes down and does her dive and she'll be back. And there she goes. And I'm going to sit here relaxing on the front of the boat in my lounge chair. I got this. I'm fine. And meanwhile, the baby was on like the right side of the boat. I know that boats have names. I just don't know them. And was playing with shells that I had collected at the bottom of the sea and kind of just dancing. So thrilled that I was doing this thing, so not needing me, so aware that this is the thing her mother does, dives to the depths of the sea. And I heard this and I just wept because the night before, of course, I had had a whole dream about working underwater, which was wild. And I told you after we've talked about this that when I am working, it feels so similar to being underwater because you know that feeling when you're underwater and everything goes quiet. That's how it feels when I'm in my work. My aura ring says I am like literally at rest or restored. I can hear myself. I can hear my clients. I almost feels vibrational. On our anniversary trip, we went snorkeling one day. And do you remember I told you I felt like I was with the fish?
You got teary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it feels to do my work. And I can't hear anything else. I cannot hear the chatter on the shore. I cannot hear other needs. And that's scary. Because I am afraid that it will look like I am selective hearing, that I am prioritizing the needs of one over the needs of another. It's scary.
As a man who has graduated from expecting other people to read his mind, what are some healthy ways that we can ask you or tell you, either ask you for help or tell you our needs when you are underwater?
So when you and I have already started brainstorming this, we thought a fun first idea would be to put a whiteboard on the fridge in the kitchen. It's a space that we all are frequenting often that are just small things, because there were some things like, for instance, because I had been sick immediately after Christmas break, there was stuff on the dining room table that needed to go at everybody's houses, like all our guests that we had had in the house. And I was seeing it every day that I passed by it. But it needed my mind to be like, this goes there. This is a piece of mail that I need to put here. This goes to so-and-so's house. This goes to so-and-so's house. It needed all of these things, of which needed 20, 30 minutes that I didn't have during my workday.
I get it.
But I was walking by it every day too. So we decided, I think you and I did the other day, that it'd be so fun to, if you were passing by something, to put dining table, because it's obviously a mama task. Like those are obviously, I know who they go to. I know where they need to go. And I don't want you to have to do it. You're the one who put them there because you wash the dishes and stuff. So if we have a whiteboard,
Great.
This needs to get done. Then if I do have capacity in between things, I do it, I scratch it out. And it's like, oh, great. If I don't, it is under the understanding that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I will get to it. And I say Tuesday because that's my admin day. I have more capacity to do more stuff. I'm not zoned in. And Sundays and Mondays are my weekends. And yeah.
Can we use a digital whiteboard too, like Google Keep?
I prefer it to be paper. I'm afraid.
Physical?
Yeah, or like a whiteboard because I when I am on my weekends, I try not to have all the digital stuff up as much. And I want the baby to be able to do it too. And we've had a harder time with her doing like Keep and stuff like that.
Okay, great. One of the things that as I was doing all my tasks, like coming back and like getting back into the swing of being in the house from New York and from the holidays, hosting for the holidays where we had family in for a week, which was great.
It was the best.
One of the things that the first thing I would love to put on that whiteboard is the hooks in our hallway.
Yep.
We have these beautiful hooks, but they fall off every time you try to hang a jacket on it. And Lauren has said for years, I want to do this. Or you even said like, hey, I'm going to bring in a stand.
Yeah.
Like a coat rack.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I want that to be our first thing. Because as I was doing all of our tasks, I was like, oh, I really want this to be solved. And then it's not my job. Where I stopped and I go, no, don't do this because it's going to be kind of blended in with like spite.
Good job.
Just ask.
Thank you.
Honey, can you complete this task and can you let me know how I can support?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for not doing it.
And then the way I do that, the way I just did it, you're more likely to fuck me, right?
Yes. You're like, you're welcome, everybody. You're welcome.
I'm more likely.
Well, and this is why, because you did not rob me of my agency.
Yeah.
You didn't decide
Is
that I was
called infantilized, where you like treat somebody like a kid? Is that infantilization?
Infantilization.
Okay.
Or parentification
Yeah.
is where you've taken on the role of dad.
Yeah.
And I didn't consent to that.
Yeah, which is like a version of like martyrdom or victim. It's like,
right?
I'm just going to do it.
No,
Nobody will fucking, and because I work on that a lot, I had to go into my meditation practice. I had a big fucking light bulb moment. Meditation is not relaxation. It is associated with relaxing. Fuck that. You are actively going into your hard drive, into your fucking source code and changing shit. It's not fucking relaxing. What's relaxing is the outcome where you don't go to goddamn rage. Or I'm going to fucking... That's a lot more relaxing, but actually going into meditation is work. It's not relaxing. Zoning out is relaxing. Watching a rug cleaning video is relaxing. What were we talking about just now?
New neural pathways. Yeah.
What the fuck? What were we fucking talking about?
How you didn't come after me with the hooks on the wall. You weren't like...
I didn't put my hooks into you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
you weren't like, oh, she...
I'm just going to do it.
So neglected. Right. You didn't make up a story.
It has been years. Oh, gentle audience. It's been fucking years. She's been talking about this shit. These hooks. Because what they are, things. It's what they're nailed to it, but they just fall out if you put a jacket on it, and
then
they're metal.
List your things that you haven't done for years?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you don't want to. You'll be like...
Please go ahead.
When did I walk by the other day? And I was like, I can't believe that after this long, this is what we're still doing.
Go ahead.
Oh. Do you want me to tell the audience how I was so excited to find like that our cameras could have a battery in them that plugged into an AC adapter? And you were like, oh, babe, we've always had those.
Yeah.
And you were like, it's just never been an issue. We've just never needed them.
Was that the first time you ever asked for it?
I didn't ask for it. I said I was getting them.
Was that the first time you ever brought it up?
No, but you said to me.
That wasn't the first time you ever brought it up?
It's the first time I ever brought it up.
So they'll be up here within 24 hours?
You said to me, it's never been an issue.
Which, yeah, that is not
I
true.
was like, are you kidding me? It's been an issue many times. Would have gotten my hand slapped for forgetting to charge the batteries in between multiple podcasts that I record.
100%.
So anyway, I'm not going to put you on the spot. I don't want to do that. I don't want to.
No, go ahead. Time. What's the next one? That'll be solved within 48 hours. What's the next one? See, I get competitive when it comes to this shit.
I know you do, and I don't want to do that.
I was on a roll too. Like the stove got, or the fridge got fixed. Had to bring in an expert. The bathroom got done. So I was on a roll with like doing shit within the house. The basement is totally organized. Not totally, but like.
Do you think when we're on a roll like that, we can want other people to get on that same roll with us?
100%, because then I start seeing it. You start looking at, if you're in the market to buy a Honda Accord, you start looking at all the Honda Accords on the road.
Yes.
So if I'm in like house loving mode, then it's like, oh, that's a big one. That's one we haven't checked off the box for the list. That's one box that we haven't gotten into. And so yeah. We did a good job. Good for us.
I loved your point, and we're fine on time. I could see your face. That was the way I handled it more likely to lead to you fucking me, was the question you asked. In your nice, blunt Trey terms that we love. And the answer is yes. It could sound a little bit like another form of pussy petting, almost like, haha, I've cracked the code.
Oh, it's competitive. Yeah, it's competitive and strategic and tactical and all that shit.
Yeah,
so
I like
funny.
Yes, and I like to put in that the reason that is the case is that I don't want to be infantilized. It doesn't exactly make me want to get into bed with the person who thinks I do everything poorly.
Yeah, gross. Ew.
Right?
You got to get out of the relationship.
Yes.
I think we've all been in like our early relationships of like, this person doesn't do things that well.
That's horrible.
I bet some people have been in long-term relationships with people like that.
Trey did tell me once on the way to a golf tournament that I was working in the car. We were talking about household chores. And I said, I can do this or that. And he goes, babe, here's the thing. I'm like, what? And he goes, I just do most things better than you.
I didn't say that. I said I do those things better than you.
Maybe you said household things. You might have said house tasks.
Correct.
You were like, I do laundry better. I do dishes better. I do. And I was like, it was good for me. It was a really good moment.
And this is the sound. That's the pussy drying up right there.
Yep. I don't recommend telling your partner you do things better.
Guys, keep that. Keep that in here. I'm pointing, index finger only, to my brain. Just keep that shit up here. Don't say that shit.
Anyway.
Even when it's true, don't say that shit.
Also, back to your point, you were saying martyrdom is a big turnoff.
Fuck yeah.
I would also argue that it's a big turnoff for the person witnessing, like me. If you had just martyred and fixed that hook on the wall and then been like, look what I finally did because you didn't do it. That doesn't make me want to get into bed with you. It's that age-old, I didn't ask you to do that. Right?
And also, you're not gonna say, oh, what a relief that it's finally fixed. Great job.
No.
I'm not getting an attaboy.
No.
If I phrase it that way? No.
It's not a way forward. It is not a way back to each other and back to intimacy and back to that give and receive. Because it's not actually a gift. It would be one thing if you were like, babe, you have said for 2 years that you wanted to fix this hook on the wall. It hasn't been done. Grace and forgiveness for you. I would like to do this for me. I would like to take this over and do this for me. May I? Okay? Which is, in essence, saying whatever it's saying, and it's okay if I fail. Like, that's okay. I want to do this for me. It's an action I am doing for me. then you do it for yourself and you say to self, wow, we did that. That's really great. It's not a gift for me.
My job would be to check in with self and like, do I want to do this enthusiastically? Do I want to do this because I have capacity? Do I want to do this because ... Not, do I want to do this out of spite? Do I want to do this because I want to show her that I am better at this shit?
Right.
And then, like you said, I need to ask permission.
Yeah. To take it away. Right? It's so, I mean, will of consent has changed our lives, but to define who it's for.
Yeah, define. Yeah, great. And the way I did it was, honey, I'm noticing. How can I support? Can we put it on the list?
Yes.
Great.
That's the goal. So then we've also talked about with this whole me going under thing. Yeah, just really endowing it even more. Like, mama's going under. And not trying to pretend that I don't go under.
Or, like, there's something wrong with it. Or you can go under 70%. Or you got to do this, this, and this before you go under. That's not really my job. I think my job would be to make requests.
Yeah.
Because you got your Sunday, Monday, Tuesday before you go under on Wednesday. And today is Wednesday. And then it's my job to support within my capacity too. Because guess what? You're a fucking adult. Like you're good without me. It's not preferred. I'm good without you. I don't want to live my life that way.
No, I don't either.
But we are both very independent people.
Yes.
And I have learned now to stay within my capacity. Yes, I can anticipate your needs so well, but I'm not going to burn my candle at both ends because I have very limited resources, like how I'm built. I can go for like 5 or 6 hours. And it's like, what do you really want to do with that 5 or 6 hours?
Yes. That was, I mean, I don't know if I even told you this. One of the things that turned me on the most was in this conversation, you said, when we were talking about how you're missing the feminine, you said, I'm not going to overcompensate and do some of the things that you were not doing. And I thought in my body, but then you kept going with the thought, right? It wasn't a time to interject. Hooray, 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 thank you. Like, because I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for you to do 120% because my 20% wasn't being done. I didn't ask for that. We have said so well, once the business started to pick up, one of the things I started to invest in was housekeepers to come in and help me clean this house.
Game changer.
That's not your job.
It's been a game changer.
And they are we're so proud of this business, and the woman who owns it is the best. It is symbiotic. It is so beautiful. The investment in her business that helps our business. It's
healthy fucking capitalism.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that meant so much to me. That no, I'm going to listen to my body. I'm not going to do more because you're working. No, it might just need to go undone so that we all see it and go, how are we going to get that task done that is necessary to the functioning of our home?
I'm getting better at that. Like things just going undone where it's like, cool. It's like, you're fine. Practice patience. Can we close this out by talking about finally coming back together intimately?
Yeah.
Can I share this with you? I didn't share this with you. We're Saturday and Sunday, because Sunday afternoon, late afternoon, we finally came back together intimately. Saturday and then Sunday, it was like no longer good enough to come on my own.
Yeah.
I wanted to orgasm with you, so like I saved it and I held that in.
Why'd you do that?
I just wanted to explode in you. That's why.
Yeah. So Saturdays are work days for me, everyone. And then Sunday, we had the birthday celebration of one of our dearest friends.
Usually we'll do Zillow in the morning.
On Sunday.
And then have coffee and sexy times in bed. We didn't do that. We had to, we chose to go to like an event, which was the best.
The best.
At the end of the event, we were tie-tie. And I said, honey, even though we're tired, baby, I think we should just have some lazy side sex or just some really just slow, intimate sex.
Yeah, no, I really wanted to talk about this as the perfect way to finish this because it had been so long since we had been intimate. Because between tummy bug, which you
New
didn't
York,
want
coming
that.
back to New York, tummy bug, yeah.
Had we had sex after we'd been here?
Maybe a week, 5-6 days. I don't think so. Because you came back, it was tummy bug right when we got back. I think it was 5 or 6 days. Wow. Yeah, which is really long. It's a long time for us.
No, I think we had sex when we got back. Because I remember thinking I felt better when we went to bed than when I woke up when I woke up in the middle of the night. So we might have had sex literally the day we got back, which might have been Friday night.
We got back at like 11. I don't think so. Or 10 o'clock at night. I don't think we did. For the sake of this, for the dramatization of this,
That's
can we just...
like 10 days.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Like in my body where it's like, okay, yeah, I want some help around here, bro.
Yeah, honey.
Yeah,
It
it makes a lot of sense.
Time. Okay, so if that's the case, it's been forever. And I love talking with my clients about the fact that for people in female bodies often and people with vulvas, desire comes after arousal starts to build. So Trey and I are laying there in bed, both zoned out because we're so tired too. We're fiddling on our phones and Trey goes, "Do you think we should just try?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess we should just try." I need the audience to know and you to know it's a wild experience. I don't know what your body was feeling, but I'll speak to mine. That's like, I don't feel desire and arousal right now. I feel sleepiness. I feel the desire to kind of zone out. But I know, right? And we know from Wheel of Consent training that there's that one section of want that's this benefits me, right? Like, I know that this benefits me. So I want to because this benefits me. Trey's a safe person. I love him with all my heart and soul. He is my person. And so there was not, though, this like carnal desire in my body.
No.
There was this benefits me.
Nor was there in mine.
Uh-huh. And we were like, okay.
It was like, this is medicine. We need to take medicine.
Yes. This benefits me. I feel the pull because this benefits me. At training, we talked about it kind of being like going to the dentist. We don't necessarily want to go to the dentist.
Bad analogy.
Hi, keeps our teeth clean in the long run.
Just, we're talking about
lovemaking,
fucking and coming, and then you bring the dentist into the mix. Just bad analogy, honey.
We
but go
do
ahead.
some things that that like on the surface it could be like I don't want to do this. So anyway, there wasn't desire.
All I'm thinking about is getting my teeth scraped with a metal.
You love that though.
I don't. I do, but I don't. But baby, go ahead.
Derailing. We put down our tech. And we like turned towards each other.
We started kissing. We
started kissing. Yeah. And what happened in your body?
I got aroused.
Yeah.
I got turned on.
Yeah.
I got good smells.
Yep.
Anticipation of sex.
Yes.
Penetration.
Yeah. Same. I didn't say what's wrong with me. Why don't I want this? The inner critic in my head was just like, yeah, I think this benefits us. We feel the pull. And the moment I started to, yes, feel your body, feel your butt in my hands, nestle into my favorite space on your neck and smell your hair and put my fingers. And then we took our time. There was no like rush. And this wasn't some like animalistic sexual encounter. It was very slow and coming back together. But I thought this needs to be talked about more often, that when we turned towards each other and put our tech down, it was not out of lust. It was out of, this will benefit us. And this will be good for us.
How was it for you?
I think I came twice, didn't I?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And my first orgasm was kind of sheepish. Mm-hmm. And also, we didn't throw in there that I was also in the week before my menstrual cycle starting.
Correct.
Which is a very interesting place in
it was the perfect lady storm.
It really was. I am not in the I'm so horny space. I'm in we're about to like shed the lining of our uterus space. Like, meh, everybody's kind of meh to me. Like, if you could all go away, please. So it was beautiful. It was really beautiful. And connecting, and yeah, how was it for you?
It was just closed circle.
Yeah.
It was like a closed loop. It was great. It was really sexy.
And
I loved it. I loved feeling on your body, and it was so sexy, and like giving you the pleasure of 2 orgasms. It was great.
And pleasure begets pleasure, my friends. Then falling back into each other's arms, more touching, more cuddles. Sex has come beautifully out of that. And there is nothing wrong with us. Trey and I did not do anything wrong that week. We navigated a week full of lots of things and turned towards each other at the end and found some more tools through it of a different word picture, a different analogy. And it has been so fun to me. I mean, you pulled me onto your lap in the kitchen and was like, baby, I love it when you dive deep. I want you to. And I just sat there and cried, didn't I? Yeah. I think somewhere in my body is you're going to have to choose, Lauren. You are going to have to choose between this work that you love more than anything in the world and Trey and the baby.
This is what I always wanted. I always wanted an alpha woman, and you don't manipulate us. I don't feel manipulated by you. Dive deep, babe. I got you.
I love you.
Love you.
Thanks for coming to this episode of the Partnership Podcast with Lauren and Trey. Please remember that these are our opinions and our opinions only. You have a right to informed decision-making and self-determination. Please take what you like, leave the rest. Bear with us as we play with different backdrops and those types of things if you are watching on the YouTubes or the Spotifys. And stay tuned. We're going to do a question and answer episode in just a little while. So if you have questions, make sure to follow me on social media, sex_ed_for_you. If you would like to talk more about some of the things that Trey and I talked about in this episode, you can go to sexedforyou.com/free consult and request a free consult with me. I have a couple more openings for my books going forward in this new calendar year. Have a great rest of your day, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
A lot of underscores.